I've previously talked about how great the PS1 was, and while it does still hold some great titles, a lot of games simply don't hold up very well, mostly it falling down to early 3D gaming being smashed by the better functioning titles in later years. Simply put, most PS1 3D platformers are dated in the bad sense, and though Wild 9 isn't technically 3D, it still doesn't hold up, not even then when it came out. It's a bland, boring and frustrating platform, with the only interesting gameplay feature being the rig. You can pick up enemies and objects and toss them around for cathartic fun, while also solving puzzles. The idea is that you can torture your enemies, when it really breaks down to slamming them into the ground again and again. You can also use the environment to kill them in a suitably brutal fashion. Occasionally you need to smash an enemy to knock down an object or clear a path. The usage of the rig is honestly the only thing remotely interesting in the levels, and even then it doesn't work. Wild 9 is a bad game all around, with only a single interesting idea, an idea that doesn't work. The rig is your main attack, but it's slow, wonky and sporadic to control. To smash a guy into the ground is the same as just moving, so often you want to move something, it will result you in just making it fly around the screen, and vice versa if you want to smash it. It's also really hard to make a quick direct attack. The rig's core needs to catch up to you. This makes it really unreliable, which is awful when it's your primary attack, and that enemies will attack really fast and accurately while you're still fumbling with the rig. Hell, multiple enemies can just take turns smashing you if you're in a tight corridor, where it's impossible to dodge their projectiles or kill them quickly. Hell, grabbing someone in a corridor might just make them go through the ceiling, which makes no sense. You have plenty of checkpoints in the levels, but you have barely any lives. You lose them all, it's back to the title screen. And while this is fine in plenty of other platformers, it fails here because it's painfully hard to get extra lives. Most levels only have one single continue you can pick up. You can get another by collecting all 99 nines, small circular objects that work as the game's collectibles. So you're probably going to spend more lives getting lives, which makes the game continually harder. Who thought this was a good idea, because it's not in the slightest. Doesn't help that there's only one save slot. There are some levels that break up the tedium of side-scrolling with bike chases and free-falling, but they're a brief respite from the crap of the main game. Graphically, it's pretty mediocre. Released a year after the beautiful Klonoa and creative Tumba, other 2.5D games, it shows some style but lacks anything visually interesting or memorable in the slightest, which is sad since it came from Shiny, the same guys that made Earthworm Jim and MDK games. Then again, they went on to make the abomination called Enter the Matrix, so there's that. To defeat all arguments to defend this game, here's Crash Bandicoot 2 that came out a year earlier. It had fun, varied levels with plenty of challenge and lives that accommodate this, as well as nice colourful visuals with a fast, effective attack that always worked. But it's a 3D game, oh wait, it has 2D sections which work fine, and are still worlds better than Wild 9's garbage level design. I honestly didn't mean to rip this game a new one. I was hoping to find a decent game here, but yet again I pissed on another childhood classic. Screw it, I'm reviewing Quake.